So I decided to do my review on this piece called The Dragon Children. What's really great is like the opening image, you've got chalk being tallied across the page, very colorful background that makes the white pop, and it's just a quote explaining about what it means to have the name Dragon Children. Dragon Children, as it says here, is a parental expectation that is so powerful that it has this name. To have their children succeed and stand out from their fellows in society. Kind of like the idea of like a tiger mom. And the tiger mom is the mom who pushes the children to succeed and stand out, but these are the parents who are expecting their children to succeed and stand out, which I guess is a way like a dragon. A dragon's a fighter, and if you fight, you will succeed. This particular piece is actually produced by SBS, Special Broadcasting Services in Australia. Their goal is to create media for a multicultural audience in Australia. They're trying to do content for like those voices that aren't always seen in the media, and because of that, they've produced content in about 74 different languages. So this is one of them. This is in particular, this one's Chinese. This is Chinese. The logo is translated to Dragon Children. So here you have 7 different stories, and each one lights up as you put a bubble. So let's go to the first one. Here you instantly greeted by like a photograph in the background with gives you a little depth, and here you have Ivy, who's in year 5. She has a profile piece on it, so let's click on that and see what this is. Here it's like a little, once it loads, an audio visual.
My name is Ivy Wong. I'm currently 10 years old, and I go to
Ivy
public school.
She's speaking in the background.
My mom thinks it's important
while her mom is coming in about halfway, and you just have photographs telling the story, very personal. At the same time, if you can't really understand what Ivy's saying, you've got subtitles options. You can be none, English, you can also say Chinese. Because in the way that SBS is trying to keep mindful that they're producing content about another cultural group, they're trying to cater to that culture group as well. So they have, I love how they have subtitles in different languages, especially for the person who's like Chinese Australian, who won't understand, who might not understand English as their first language. They have that option to read along in Chinese. And same goes for the English Australian speaker who doesn't understand Chinese or Cantonese, and they can follow on in English. Second one is another profile on high school. This high school is academically successful. Because it's so academically successful, a lot of Chinese Australians have tried to push their children to the school, and this is a story about how it's becoming about more than half is becoming Chinese Australian. The thing that really irks me about this, though, is that, as you can see, there's like a typo here. Enrollments, and like in the first profile, I don't know when this was produced, but again, enrollment, they missed like the L. Maybe that's how they spell it in Australia. I don't know, but that's kind of irritating for me. The third option here is charting success. Charting success, it's about just 3 graphs, but it's not just plain graphs that you would see normally against like a backdrop. These graphs are special graphs that light up when I hover over them, and they're also interactive. So let's go to language background. As soon as I click here, you can hear this guy speaking in the background. He's talking about what is going on with this graph, explaining a little bit more for the person who just kind of comes here to like what's going on. But at the same time, I don't only have to look at this graph. I can also hover over it and then change it to my own understanding, being like, what's going on with English students, math students, science, like what's going on with their reading, math, and science, and I can see how it clearly goes from black and white to color, and then as soon as I hover, it's blue, orange, pink, purple, red. So pretty much it's really clear. I don't like how it's the audio is going at the same time as I'm doing this, but hopefully, I guess the goal is to like assume that you're gonna listen throughout before you start playing with it, because that confuses me a lot. But it's really neat, and I really do love how it's interactive, because it gives it more of a bit of flavor, but also it cleans up the graph a lot. You don't have like sidebars going on me like numbers, because you can't tell specifics over here. But it's so clean and simple that it just looks very visually appealing. And you have these options here, you know, like, okay, I can go to the next graph. And you can also have your social media shared on here. So it's very clean. I really like that, how you can play with it. Just not the part about how you speak in the background. The fourth one is a look at culture. You have 3 experts who talk about why Chinese students do it differently at home than at school. Again, black to white to color, black and white to color. Great little captions. They try to make it not so broadcasty. You've got this guy talking in an interview setting. I'm going to take off captions.
What it means by intrinsic motivation is when a student is
in case you can't quite understand what he's saying, you've got graphs or little infographics that go up. Very, very good for the visual learner. Here you've got more of a broadcast setup. She's interviewing, but you have you eventually get photographs that pop up halfway into here.
You also tend to do it on a more regular basis.
There you go. There's the photographs again of Ivy from the first profile, really trying to tie in the story together so you remember what's going on. I gotta say, I really love how this thing just moves on its own, and it shows me the timeline of the story, how it's progressing, so I know I don't have to wait that long to get over here. I don't like how there's no time estimate, but I mean, it's moving, so I know it's not too long. Alright. And we'll go to the fifth one. This is another profile on like a tutoring house they have. Again, another audio-visual piece, how it goes black and white to color. Here you have a story on a mom and a teacher. This woman teaches parents, Chinese, Australian parents, about how to embrace their kids' passions and give them something else to do besides just studying or doing extra work all the time. And she's really trying to help these parents, and because these parents sometimes feel like that's the way they grew up, so that's the best way. Which not always is entirely true. But again, I really love how it gives a full aspect and also black and white to color to really liven up the story. These are both audio-visual pieces again. So there's not that much text coming in, but that's okay, because in the seventh piece, you have these two stories. These are Chinese Australians who reflect on being dragon children. So you go with a girl starting year 5 all the way up until they're grown-up adulthood. So if you're missing your text piece, you click on here and you have your text component, and it's just a reflection, pretty short, but it fulfills that text need for multimedia, and it's really great again with the language. You've got English, and then you have Chinese going on back here. Really, really great. Again, just to cater to that other audience who might not understand English as their first language, who might not be great at reading it. It really shows for two types of groups. And then you can social media share. So all in all, I really liked how it has like these really cute themes, and like the layout seems to be very clean and really story-like. And I feel like I was having not only fun while reading it, but also like learning something. And really giving me an insight into like a life. Like the photograph, just like an insight into someone's home. So it was really great, and I would, I think, not much to complain about.